What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic, and today we're gonna talk some football. Houston Texans football. We here. It's NFL draft week, so we're gonna talk about what the Houston Texans could and should do with pick 40 because they can go a lot of different ways. They can go edge rusher, they can go defensive line, they can go offensive line, they can go running back, they can go cornerback. They could even go receiver if they want to. But since they made the trade to Brandon Cooks, they probably not going to go there. It's probably highly unlikely that they'll draft a receiver at number 40. But once again, this is Bill O'Brien and Jack Easterby and Kyle letting them do whatever it is they want to do. So we don't know exactly where their head's at. So we're going to talk about what they could and should do with their 40th pick. Now, if y'all been watching the channel for a long time, y'all know I've been talking about the cornerback position for the longest. But when they made the trade for Hopkins and trade away Hopkins rather, I'm like, okay, wide receiver has to be the number one need. It has to be the number one priority. And then what they did, they went ahead and brought in Brandon Cooks. No matter how you feel about the Brandon Cooks trade, no matter if you like it or you don't like it, what that does open up that 40th pick to go a lot of different ways. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier. I think they should go after a corner. Me personally, I would go after the corner. And the corner I would target would be Trey. I'm sorry, not Trey. Javon Diggs out of Alabama. 6'2", 205 pounds, big, long, rangy corner. Can play outside, and that's the thing I like. He's a play outside, and that keeps Roby inside. Keep Roby in the slot. Well, you have him playing on the outside like he's long, he's rangy. Even when he gets beat sometimes, he's able, because he's so long, he's able to knock passes down, even being out of position because that's how big and rangy he is. He's a playmaker. And when I watch his tape, I can just imagine him being on the same side in the same secondary as a Justin Reed. And like I said, that gives Roby able to stay inside playing the slot, and you still have Gary Conley on the outside. But they can, if they want to go, it's still with the cornerback position. They can still go Christian Fulton, cornerback at LSU. He is 6'2", 197 pounds. His tape really didn't impress me all that much. I know he has some talent, and for the most part, he stayed with his receivers and coverage. But his junior tape, when he played alongside Greedy, was better. So that kind of, like, was he better when he was playing with somebody else, when he had another top corner on the opposite side of him? And like, he won't have that here in Houston because we don't know exactly what we had of our Roby and Gary Conley. We hopeful for him, but we don't know exactly what we're gonna get out of him. So that's something that worries me. Like, his junior tape was better than his senior tape, but then they also go Jeff Gonley out of TCU, 5'10", 191 pounds. He's kind of small, but he's a playmaker as well. He has the potential on this stage in the NFL secondary to be a ball hawk, a guy who gets his hands on the ball at all times. Either he's making an interception, or he's batting the pass down, or he's tipping the pass for somebody else to make a play. So he's always around the football. Then when you watch the tape of him, he's always around the football. Even though I would go after Diggs, because also Diggs is the brother of Stephon Diggs, formerly Minnesota Vikings, now Buffalo Bills. So he knows how to play against a big receiver. Because I'm pretty sure him and his brother be training a lot. So he knows the ins and outs. He's been training with the brothers playing in the NFL for a while. And I just think that he would fit this defense better. Because like I said, I think with him, and you can keep Roby inside playing the slot, I think that pays off huge dividends. But they can also go edge rusher, and they can go Terrell Lewis, edge rusher out of Alabama, 6'5", 275 pounds. Just a physical freak. Just physical. Very dominant at point of attack, very athletic, and get to the quarterback in all different type of ways. The problem with him is that he had a lot of injury concerns, little nagging injuries here and there. He missed a lot of time. He kind of does remind you of Clowney because he has all the athletic ability, but he's never really on the field. And knowing what we've been doing, what we've been going on with JJ for the past 3-4 years, and what we was doing with Clowney early on in his career, do you want to go with that route? That's the problem with him. But then they can also go Jonathan Gennard out of Florida, 6'3", 63 pounds, who's a pure pass rusher. Might be the purest pass rusher outside Chase in this whole draft. He knows how to do bull moves and things like that naturally. He's just a natural pass rusher. He can get to the quarterback all different type of ways. Moves that it takes guys a couple years in the NFL to get to. He knows how to get those moves already. And I just think he's a guy who you could definitely put in they have him playing on the line, but I think he can come in and be an edge rusher as well. And I think that's probably could be your best bet, like out of those two guys, because like I said, he's a guy who doesn't have the injury concerns, and he's more of a pure pass rusher. Even though Lewis is a physical specimen, and I understand that. But then again, they can also go defensive tackle. I know a lot of y'all want them to go that way, and they can go Ross Blacklock, defensive tackle out of TCU. 6'3", 290 pounds, just a big stuffer. Kind of reminds you of DJ Reader a little bit more athletic. He's slender than DJ Reader, but kind of reminds you of DJ Reader. Not really a pass rusher, though. He doesn't really get to the quarterback. He stops the run, but he doesn't really get to the quarterback that well. And the thing about him, if you do go after him, you're like, well, since you traded away Hopkins and it was a cold contract issue, why don't you just franchise tag Reader? You could just franchise tag Reader and just kept him for that 1 year and paid him, because that would still been cheaper than bringing on David Johnson's contract. I'm just saying. That's the kind of thing about that. But then again, they can also go Marlon Davidson, defensive lineman out of Auburn, 6'3", 303 pounds, guy who could play defensive end on the line in the 3-4 defense, and you can also move him in defensive tackle. He's a guy who's very versatile, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Texans are really licking him, because he is one of those guys who definitely told it as a character guy. He could have came out a year early, but he promised his mom that he was going to graduate, and that's what he did. He stayed in school specifically so he can graduate. I think that is something that, like, somebody especially like Jack Easterby would love to have that on this team. And I think that Jack could spin that to both Bill O'Brien and Calvin. And like, look, this is the type of guy we need. He could have came out and got the bag last year. But no, he told his mama he was going to get his degree. He went and got his degree. That's the type of guy that we need. Now, he does have some athletic ability. He does get to the quarterback. He do seem more like a situational pass rusher, because he can get to the quarterback. He does have pass rushing abilities. And he's also versatile. That's another check in the Bill O'Brien category, because they can play him as defensive end in the 3-4 defense, and they can also move him in and have him play interior, so he can play outside and he can play interior. So that is something else that I could definitely see Bill O'Brien try to spin and want him to play. But me personally, I like Justin Mabuke, a defensive tackle out of Texas A&M, 6'3", 293 pounds, a guy who can stop the run and can get to the quarterback. Like, kind of like what I said about Zuniga from Florida, but he can do it from the defensive tackle spot. He can get to the quarterback. He can pass rush. He's very athletic. The problem with him is that because he's so athletic and so gifted, he kind of takes plays off a little bit. And I think that's where Anthony Weaver and also J.J. Watt can come in. The problem, because I do want them to go after Zuniga in the 3rd round, and because Zuniga plays on the edge. You don't want to have two of those type of guys on the defense, though. You don't want to have two guys basically playing similar positions that you have to motivate, that you have to coach up. And this whole time, we don't know when they're going to have they're not going to have a rookie minicamp, obviously. And we don't know when they're going to have training camp and when they're going to have a preseason and when the season's going to start. We don't know exactly when all this stuff is going to manifest. So it would be kind of harder to get these guys going. But then again, because of that, these guys can fall, and you could possibly get these guys at a cheaper rate. And I'm also mentioning that something about that also later on in this breakdown. But he's a guy, I think, from athletic ability. I mean, I think he was a 5-star recruit, if I'm not mistaken. Like, he's just a big, powerful guy. He's fast. He gets to the quarterback, and he can stop the run. I think that he's a better player, just a better player, and fits more what you want to do. Can stop the run and can get to the quarterback more so than Marlon Davidson and Blackhawk from that position. That's just me. I just think that he's more athletic and he can do more things that you want him to do, because Blacklock is more so of a run stuffer, can get to the quarterback but not really. And then Marlon Davidson, he can get to the quarterback but not really good against the run. And I think that Justin Mabuke is the combination of both. You have to motivate him slightly. Like, because he's so athletic, he kind of takes plays off because, like, my technique don't got to be all that good. And that's really what it is. His technique ain't really got to be that good because he's so athletically gifted. That's something that you have to coach around. That's where Anthony Weaver is going to have to come in, a guy who's played on the defensive line, a guy who's coached defensive line as that his position of coaching. And then also, now he's a defensive coordinator, so he's going to have to take him under his wing if you decide to bring him in. Now, the wild card, because I said this during when the moment that they traded for Brandon Cooks. I said this in that Brandon Cooks trade. I would not be surprised if the Texans go after a running back. I don't recommend it because you need to do something to this defense. But I wouldn't be surprised if they go after a running back. I mean, you got Jonathan Taylor, 5'10", 226 pounds, ran a 226 pounds, ran a 4.39. A guy who said that he wanted to be a Houston Texan because he models his game after Arian Foster. He watched Arian Foster. He grew up watching Arian Foster. That's who he wants to be like. So he wants to be a Houston Texan. That's what if any team could draft him. He said he's on record saying he would like to be a Houston Texan. So I can definitely see if he's on the board, which I think running back is going to slip because this class is deep at receiver and at corner. That other positions are going to slide down, and plus running back slide down anyway. I think that out of him and Swift and Dobbins, I think two of those guys are going to be available at pick 40. Do you bite on that? And is he too good to pass up? A guy that size running a 4.39? Is it too good to pass up? And then you also have DeAndre Swift, running back out of Georgia, 5'8", 212 pounds. And I said this when I talked about the running back position, that he's probably the perfect fit for Deshaun Watson. And the type of offense that you want to run with Deshaun Watson, let me rephrase that, because I think what the Texans want to do, going by years past, is more so KJ Dobbins as they fit for their scheme. But if you think about Deshaun's skill sets, it's DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift definitely fits what Deshaun Watson's skill set does perfectly. Not to mention with these fast receivers that you got on the outside that's going to open up these holes, that will be a perfect match for Deshaun Watson, because Deshaun Watson can move around, do all type of stuff, and dump it off. And even though I know we got Duke Johnson, you brought in David Johnson as well, guys who catch out the backfield, but DeAndre Swift is definitely your fullback. You're your full-time back, right? Not fullback, but you're definitely your full-time back that you give the ball to 20 to 25 times a game. And he's a guy who can create magic and be special with Deshaun Watson because he fits Deshaun Watson's skill sets the best. Now, Jonathan Taylor is a pure running back, and he does have emblems and reminds you of Arian Foster in some ways. Not just because he's big and he's fast. He runs with power, and again, with all the speed, with Fuller and Cooks and Steele and possibly Kiki if he's still there, and then DeAndre Carter on some plays because he runs a 4.44, and then you still got Kyle running underneath in the slot, and you got the tight ends with Akins and Fells, and who knows what Klein Warren gonna do. That's going to open up a lot of space and a lot of holes for either Swift or Taylor, because they're not going to be able to put 8, 9, 10 in the box. Now, all this speed on the outside, they'd be defensive suicide to do all that. So I can definitely see if one of these guys is on the board, that can entice Bill O'Brien. Remember, he's an offensive-minded head coach. He was an offensive coordinator in New England. He thinks he wants to be offensive coordinator. He's been offensive coordinator for the past 7 years since he's been outside the year he had Gotson. He's an offensive-minded guy. Every move he makes is dictated towards the offense outside of bringing in Garyon Conley. That's what happens when you have head coaches becoming general managers, because every head coach cuts their teeth on one side of the ball, either a defensive-minded coach or offensive-minded coach. And if they're the person who's making the general manager decisions as well, they're going to make those moves dictated to the side of the ball they feel comfortable with, offense or defense. If he was a defensive-minded coach, all the moves would be on defense, and offense would be suffering. Now, he's an offensive-minded coach, so he makes a lot of moves on offense, does very little for the defense. Because, one, we shouldn't have been in this cornerback position anyway, because you had the potential, the possibilities and the capability to fix that cornerback position via free agency. I know the whole room was coming over about I think we get Chris Harris, that he didn't want to come here. Again, when you made that move for Hopkins and you opened up that cap space, you shouldn't have took in David Johnson's contract. You could have opened up that cap space. You could have brought in James Bradbury. I know you could have. You could have brought in James Bradbury. You could offer him that bag. But you didn't want to because you didn't know what you're doing. You want to dictate towards the offense and dictate towards defense. But that's a conversation. That's a conversation for a whole nother video. But what I'm saying is, I wouldn't be surprised if they go after running back. I don't recommend it. That's not what I want them to do. I want them to go after a corner. I want them to go after Diggs. That's what I want them to. I'm cool with with Gonley, but I want them to go after Diggs. I'm not really all that high on Fulton. Like I said, he's okay. His tape wasn't bad, but the thing about his tape, his junior year was better. That's why I'm not really about that. The edge rushing, I think they could go and get Zuniga in the third round. I'm very cool with Zuniga. Zuniga can stop the run and can stop the pass as well. Guy, you just got to coach up a little bit. So I'm cool with them taking Zuniga in the third round. And Lewis, very athletic, but injury concerns. He had little nagging injuries here and there, and you don't want to be in that same situation you've been with Clowney in the first part of his career, the first couple of years when he had his injury concerns, and what we've been doing with JJ for the past 3-4 years. You don't want to be in that same conversation. Is he going to play, not going to play? We were kind of with that with Brian Cushing towards the end of his career when he started having a lot of problems. We don't want that. So a guy who's had a lot of nagging, even though history tells you that when guys are normally have injury concerns in college, they normally don't be having them in the NFL. Like when they had all the nagging injuries in college, it don't really for the most part, it don't really translate. But that still does kind of concern you, even though his tape is very impressive. Like Terrell Lewis tape from Alabama is very, very impressive. But he has a lot of nagging injuries. John Gennard is very is a straight pass rusher. He has all the pass rushing capabilities, but he doesn't give you a lot in the running game. And like I say, Blacklock, good stopping the run, leaves you a lot to be desired in the passing game. Marlon Davidson, good character guy, can get to the quarterback, versatile, versatile, but can't really stop the run. Matt Bouquet can stop the run and can get to the quarterback, but another guy you got to coach up because he doesn't. He kind of stays back a little bit because he's so athletically gifted, then he kind of takes plays off because I can get it, I ain't get it, I don't have to be exact, I don't have to be technical, I don't have to clean up my technique because I'm that good, I'm that dominant. So he got to be coached up a little bit, and then you have the running backs, which I have no qualms about the running backs. I think the running backs are legit. You're just not in a situation, in my personal opinion, to take a running back in this draft this high. I think you should take a running back, and you can take a running back in the 4th, possibly the 5th round. I mean, you can go after LaMichael Penline in the 4th round, maybe even Anthony McFarland if you want to go speed. So, like, there's other running backs that you can get quality in this draft. Even though I know these two guys are very special, and you don't want to pass them up if they're there. But you put yourself in a situation that you kind of have to because you need defense. And the ultimate trump card, because once again it is the Houston Texans, there is also the time that they could also trade down. I don't think they're going to do that, though. If anything, I think Bill O'Brien would trade up. I think he would try to find a way to trade up. I don't really think Bill O'Brien would trade down because he's so knee-jerk. He's a head coach. He's not a general manager. Now, if Bill O'Brien if there really was a general manager in this position, I think trading down would be very likely. But not in this situation. I don't think trading down is very high. I mean, it's a possibility. It's always a possibility. Trading down and trading up should always be, unless you have the number 1 pick in the draft and it's a quarterback and you need a quarterback. Trading up and trading down should always be a possibility in every fan base of every team in the NFL draft with every pick, because you can always move up and you can always move down. Because people calling off and people sliding and slipping and they trying to move up or hey, my play, it's a whole bunch of plays I can get. Hey, if somebody want to make a trade, should we good? We can pick up a whole bunch of picks and still get our guy, or at least get one of our guys. So there's always a possibility. I don't think it's going to happen because, like, again, Bill O'Brien is so knee-jerk. I think that's part of the reason why they went after Brandon Cooks, because they hear all the talks that, it could be 6, 7 receivers took in the first round. Oh, but shit, we can't get our receiver. Let's go get Brandon Cooks just to be on the safe side so we have a receiver we ain't got to worry about it. Because he's so knee-jerk. Look how he coaches. Look how he's done Hopkins when he won a contract, apparently. Look how he did Clowney when he was going to come back. And he's even said he was going to come back before the season started. Because he's so knee-jerk. He just got to get you out here. I got to get you out here. He's so knee-jerk. I don't think that he's going to have the patience to trade back. Like I said, if anything, he would trade up. So I think that you're going to pick at 40. My personal opinion, I think the Texans should go after Diggs, but I think they're going to go after Davidson. Cause like I told Honcho the other day on Soft Sports, shout out to everybody there on Soft Sports, that I think that maybe Easterby really is the general manager, and I could definitely see Easterby trying to spin that Marlon Davidson. And then, like I say, he's versatile, and that's something that Bill O'Brien loves. So he could definitely spin that versatility with Bill O'Brien. He could spin the good character thing with Calvin in there, and able to hone in on basically getting Marlon Davidson, the defensive lineman out of Auburn. Like I said, he's not a bad player. No, he's not a bad player in the slightest. I would take Matt Bouquet over him. I think I'll even. Will I take Black Lock over him? Maybe. I'll take Lewis. I'll take Gennard. And I'll take the corners over him. So I'm not really all that high on him. Like I said, he's decent. I mean, he's not a bad player. That's not guys I would take him over Black Lock maybe. But that's what I think the Texans are going to do with 40. I would want them to go after a corner, mostly Diggs, but I could definitely see them going edge rusher, defensive tackle, and I think more likely you're going to look at just Marlon Davidson. And I've seen a lot of my drafts got him targeting him too. I could definitely see that, but like, don't be surprised if like I said, don't be surprised if Jonathan Taylor or DeAndre Swift is there, especially Jonathan Taylor, and the Texans go after that. Because the reason why Jonathan Taylor, he runs a 4.39, and they've been talking about speed this whole offseason with getting, bringing in Cooks and things like that. I could definitely see them. Okay, hey man, we gotta get Jonathan Taylor, bring him into the office, bring that speed factor in too. Like my cousin say, what you trying to do? Make a damn track team, and we're gonna see what happens. But I think that would be a mistake. I don't recommend you going after running back that early. You can get a running back in the 4th, possibly the 5th, but definitely the 4th round. You used to get a couple good running backs in the 4th round. Even the 3rd round, I mean, if you want to go after Cam Akers and things like that, like you can get a running back in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round. You don't have to get a running back with pick 40. Even though I do think the Texans should go after running back, but I think they should wait till the 4th round and get LaMichael P-Line or get Anthony McFarland out of Maryland. So like, share, subscribe, comment below. If you haven't, click that bell, get more videos. I'll holla.